Welcome back to the grind. In this video, we are going to talk about Ryva or Riva, the new defensive Atlas rider that is now available with blue rider shards from the Atlas rider selection. You can obtain blue shards through the Atlas season by obtaining glory and spending it on the rider branch to get the blue shards. And then if you have 500, then you can claim this rider. But then in order to level it, you do have to spend red rider shards and glory. So you need to put this rider on a dragon and then do Atlas attacks, or put it on your defensive rider and be attacked. And that will get glory for this rider so that you can then level it up and put skills into the tree. Now, I'm actually very excited about this rider, and spoiler alert, I'm going to get this rider. So once I start getting into the Atlas season a bit more, then I will start working on getting all the blue rider shards that I need, and then I will start earning glory on this rider. So why do I like this rider so much? Well, let's take a look. You've got building HP, then you've got a choice between lumber and sheep farm production, then you've got building attack, more HP, then you've got a choice between red mage HP and blue mage HP, and then more building attack down the middle, more building HP, more building attack, more HP, and then at the top here, a choice between lightning tower attack and HP or Dracul pylon attack and HP. So let's go on over to War Dragon's Neon so that we can take a look at all the possible variations that you can get out of this rider. We're going to look at the stats of the attack and HP. So we got HP in the first, attack in the first column and HP in the second column. And we're going to compare the stats of the couple more top tier ones. So Crom built for HP. I'm going to focus on HP because that's what I strongly recommend going for, is building for HP. So for Crom, you get 23% HP and 18 attack. That's pretty solid. That's the best stats that we've been able to get so far. Casima is a solid option because you can stack up, a dark flak or earth flax. But the other one is Leilani. That's the one that I have. And it's 19% HP and just under 18% attack. So a few percent below Crom, as we saw, was 23. So actually 4% below Crom. Now, if we look at Ryva, Ryva's base building stats is 21% HP and 15% attack. So it's 3 less attack than Crom and only 2% less HP on all of the towers. Now, 2%, if you can get it, it's great, but it's not a major game changer. Now, what else does this rider offer? It offers you a choice and a combination between the different stats of red and blue mage HP, as well as lightning tower attack, lightning tower HP, pylon attack, and pylon HP. I don't think that the pylon stats are worth it because you have to start with the pylon attack, and I don't think it's worth investing in it to get the attack or HP because it's not really an attack type tower, and having the extra HP is definitely beneficial for it, but for what is available, I think the other options are better. So in addition to the 21% HP for all towers on the base and 15% attack for all towers on the base, you can also choose a combination of 4 of these other bonuses, and here's an example where you just boost up the mage towers as much as possible. So you can get red mage and blue mage all with 20% extra HP. That is pretty significant. That's a lot of extra HP, and that's in addition to the 21% HP that the rider stats are giving as well. You can also choose to invest in the lightning attack and HP or Dracul pylon attack and HP. Now, for the lightning towers, the attack is the one that primarily is the most useful, and that's because the attack is so long range that they can't really kill it before it fires, and so you can get that attack off quick. So I would suggest that you can even just put the 5 skills into the attack and not worry about the HP unless you really want to beef them up. So this setup gives you an extra 10% attack and HP for both lightning and Dracul pylon. So that's an option as well, but really you can choose any combination of any of them. You can get 10% attack for lightning, 10% attack for Dracul pylon, 10% HP for red mage, 10% HP for blue mage, or whatever you would like. What I think I am going to do is put in the 10% attack for the lightning towers, because I mainly want attack for those, and 10% is a pretty solid chunk. And then aside from that, I'm not going to invest into the HP, I'm not going to invest into the Dracul pylon, but I'm going to boost up my mage towers because they can really ruin a attack on a base. If you can't get the red mage down, a lot of dragons have red spells that they rely on, or it just gets in the way, or say a blue mage you can't cloak. So if you can boost up those mage towers significantly, then that would really help. The other thing to consider is the Dracul pylon. That's one tower. Most bases are not going to have even two of them on a long island, and mage towers, you can pretty much find every base has at least one mage tower for the vast majority of bases on every single island. And this is for a whole perch area, so that's 3 islands. Now, if you have a mage drain island set up in front of a long island, then all those mage towers are going to have boosted HP. And a lot of players actually on a long island setup have a red and blue mage on both islands, or at least have a red and blue mage on the front and then a red mage in the back. So that's 3 to 4 towers that are benefiting from 10 to 20% mage HP. And if you just forget about the lightning attack altogether, then you can get an extra 20% on both of those mages, which is in some cases going to apply to 4 towers on your long kill island, which is a huge increase in amount of HP that the dragon is going to have to deal in order to get through your base. Whereas if you just focus on the lightning and pylon, then you're not going to get as much extra HP added to your base overall. Unless you have, say, 3 maxed out lightning towers on the back of your long kill island, that is a situation where you might actually argue that going all in on the attack and HP for lightnings would have a significant impact, and then putting, 10% in the red and 10% in the blue. But I think that this added HP to the red and blue mage, because it is so significant with 20%, it's basically a whole nother rider that's adding extra HP on top of your other rider to the mage towers. So this is actually, I think, a very, very valuable rider to have. And so I'm grateful that it is an Atlas rider, so that players continue to have access to this rider for the remainder of the game. It doesn't seem like they're ever going to restrict access to Atlas riders. They're always available. As long as you can earn the rider shards, you can unlock the rider. Whereas a seasonal rider is only available for that season, and say you weren't able to complete the line, then you're missing out. So I'm grateful for this rider, and I am definitely going to get this one, and most likely I'm going to put the skills in this way, so I can boost up my lightning attack a little bit and then beef up my mage towers, and specifically the red mage or the blue mage. I haven't yet decided. I have kind of an odd setup. I only have 1 red and 1 blue on my kill island, and then the back part of the island is just a bunch of other towers. And one day that might change, perhaps when I shift over to having 3 islands of maxed out or close to maxed out towers. Then I might adjust the way it's set up a little bit if I end up moving my lightning towers to another location, in which case I could then, respec this rider if I decide that I want to focus only on the mages. But this rider has a few different options and actually allows players to specifically do it the best for their base. And so I really like that, and everyone could have a slightly different setup, but the fact that you can add even 20% additional HP for every single red and blue mage in a perch area, to me that is just a very beneficial addition to riders that we haven't had in the past, and especially because a lot of players will have many of these towers in a single perch area, even up to 6 or so, depending on the way they set up their base. So let me know what your thoughts are on this rider, if I've sold you on this rider or not. But especially because I still have Leilani, there's really nothing to lose in going for this rider, and I do think it will have a significant impact on the strength of my base. So I'm going to get this rider maxed out as soon as I can. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your plan is, and I hope to see you in the next video.